And so the long night broke. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room.
Okay, everyone, don't worry. The hardest part for him is over.
The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief.
So, how is Sanan? He's still asleep. Looks pretty peaceful. So, has Sanan gone crazy like the others?
Inoue simply shook his head.
We won't know for sure until he wakes up. For now, he looks just like he always has.
Suddenly, then, the door slid open.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing?
Oh shit, Ito.
That wasn't the warm welcome I expected. My, you all look rather glum.
Well, isn't it obvious that it's because we have to see your face in the morning?
My, Nagakura, darling, you're such a jokester.
Ito dismissed Nagakura's snide remark, and he turned to face the standing warriors.
Come now, why the long faces, everyone? It has to do with the happenings of last night, I presume.
No.
Desperately, Kondo's eyes flew around the room as if looking for someone to offer an excuse.
Sano, make something up. What? Me? Well, you see, yesterday...
You're a miserable actor. Keep your mouth shut. How about you leave the explaining to someone who can string two words together,
Okita turned to Saito expectantly, and the latter spoke up at once. He's always ready.
As you may have heard, Deputy Commander Ito, an incident occurred last night at headquarters.
My, an incident, you say?
Yes. However, we have yet to assume a real grasp on the situation. An attempt to make an explanation now is a risk of confusion from inaccurate information. If you wish, I would be happy to provide you with a more detailed report this afternoon.
I see. I understand. I shall look forward to receiving the details this evening. Very well, then. Good day.
Ito brandished another strange smile, stood, nodded, and left the room promptly.
Seems like he let us off easy.
What do you mean?
Ito has his wits about him. We shouldn't have let him see all of us together. The only man missing was Sanan. It won't take Ito long to realize something's happened to him.
Oh. Ito had likely guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I had looked up just in time to see Sanan shuffle through the door. Sanan!
Hey, come on, guys. Don't stare at me like I'm some kind of monster. Sanan, you sure you should be up and about? I'm only a little drained, sore. A side effect of my new... condition, I suppose. Those who've taken the draught often find activity during daylight hours to be especially taxing.
Sanan looked a little pale, but it didn't look too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it's hard for him to move during the day...
I am no longer a human being.
Those words sunk our hearts heavily. Even the captains fell silent to his solemn admission.
Oh, Sanan. Who cares what you are? You're alive! That's good enough for me.
Kondo stood and grabbed Sanan's shoulders tightly, his expression bright and endearing. Tears nearly welled in his beaming eyes.
So, how's your arm? Has it healed?
I haven't fully recovered yet, so I would withhold any final judgment, but...
He tilted his left arm, the arm that before had hung limp at his side, and flexed his hand. It didn't look any different than before his injury.
It seems to have been healed. At the very least, it is no longer a hindrance.
Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. However...
You can't go out in the sun, though, right? Will you still be able to fight with us?
His voice was calm, almost careless.
I have an idea. Tell everyone I died.
What?
From now on, I will serve in the Corps to remind them and us that success is possible.
Sanan, have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're saying?
Of course I do. Do you, Nagakura? The Shogun had ordered us to keep this thing a secret. If I, die, the Shogun's secret remains so. Besides, consider the possibilities of the side effects being managed, or even removed. What reason do we have not to use it?
They seemed to be against Sanon's idea, though no one said anything. Who would want to consign a friend to a life of secrecy, lived in shadows? But
We were given this task by the Shogun himself. I suppose this is our only choice.
Well, this is what you asked for, Sanan. And besides, you're not the type to listen either.
You know me well, don't you? You couldn't have been more accurate.
Huh. Hichikata scoffed at Sanon's suggestion, and bitterness frothed from his words. This means moving to a new location isn't something we can put off any longer. If we're going to hide Sanan from Ito and his men, we need more space. This place won't cut it.
I agree. If we intended to begin research again, then a move is even more urgent.
Alright, everyone. Even though none of you got much sleep, we need to attend to business. Yukimura, you go back to your room. I know you didn't sleep much.
Okay. Understood. Please excuse me.
I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I'm happy that Sanan was safe, but a whole flurry of new concerns arose. Learning of my father's horrible work. What will become of me? Will I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed heavily in my head as I walked back to my room. What's next on the docket? June 1865. Trying to remember what happens after this. Right, well, we've moved now. Our emperor had passed, and our year moved from the 2nd of Ganji to the 1st of Keo. It was 3 months since we'd moved the headquarters to Nishihongwanji. There's a lot more room, but more room meant, well, farther to walk. I'd walked through it almost every day for weeks, and I was finally beginning to learn my way around. As I turned a corner near the back of the compound, I caught sight of someone sitting in the shadows. There you are, Sanan. Your food's ready.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
The snow disappeared, the cherry blossoms bloomed and fled, and now the swallows and the heat came. Sanan and I exchanged a pair of smiles, and I held out my hands to let the breeze brush across them. It's really gotten warm lately.
Yes, it has. Unfortunately, the increased sunshine has been more unpleasant for me than the heat.
Really? I didn't think the sun was particularly strong that day, but to Sanan, who hid in the shadows and out of sight during the day, it must have been unbearable. Thinking back to the night of the incident, I remember Sanan transformed into a being with white hair, eyes lusting for blood. But looking at his peaceful smile now made it hard to imagine such a night was real. If someone told me it was all a bad dream, I would have believed it. It wasn't a dream, though, and now Sanan spends his days hiding from the sunlight and from others. I have definitely tapped into the Shinsengumi secrets. For just a moment, the sun lit on Sanan's hair. I don't know if it was a trick of the light or simply my mind being foolish, but in that moment his hair was a brilliant white.
Is something the matter? You look as though you've seen a ghost, which I hardly feel is polite.
Oh, no, nothing at all. He looked perfectly normal now, of course. Surely I thought I must have simply imagined it. Sanan had become the same creature as the men I encountered on my first night in Kyoto. And here, right in front of me, he stood. The fear of the night cast a shadow over my heart. It was unnerving. I'm just like in a constant state of Heisuke and I made our way through the crowded as usual streets of Kyoto at a brisk pace. You know, I haven't gone out on patrol with you in quite a while, Heisuke.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess not. Edo had me pretty busy. So, how was it while I was gone? Shin and Sano didn't bug you while I was gone, did they?
Everything was fine, and they were kind to me.
Ah, that's good. So any updates on your dad? Did you find any leads?
None at all.
Ah, I see. I stopped by your old place in Edo with the information you gave me, but, well, there were no signs of anyone returning. Seriously, I wonder where he went.
The somberness of Heisuke's expression started to rub off on me. Now I was depressed. Oh, thank you for taking the time to look anyway.
There's nothing to thank me for. I mean, the fact you're not allowed to come and go as you please is completely our fault.
Heisuke? Heisuke stopped himself mid-sentence, which was jarring. Ever since he returned from Edo, he's looked glum. Hey, Heisuke? How about you? It's been a while since you were in Kyoto. Does it seem different from Edo?
Well, I sort of feel like the town has changed. So have the people.
Huh? Wondering still what's going through his head. Did something happen to him in Edo? His sudden change of character confused me. Heisuke's head jerked up slightly and he looked across the street. He stood on his toes and waved.
Hey, Soji! Find anything over there?
Nope, everything's normal.
Okita was out on patrol as well, although his route took him through a different part of the city.
Well, normal for now, at least. I'm sure things will pick up once the Shogun gets here.
The Shogun's coming to visit Kyoto?
Yep, it's got Kondo all worked up, too. Kondo truly respects Shogun Iemochi.
Ah, I see. I hope it turns out well. Right, Heisuke?
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I bet he is.
Huh? Something had really gotten into him. I glanced at Okito to see if he noticed anything. Oh no. Here we go again. Okito? Are you alright?
I'm fine. I think I just caught a cold or something.
Ah, I see. Well, please, take care of yourself. I have medicine to treat colds, so I'll give you some when we return.
Oh yeah? Thanks. I guess having you around comes in handy at times.
What's the matter?
It's our brother.
Okito's eyes looked past me, and suddenly something caught his attention off to the side.
Whoa, whoa! What do you mean, no?
Our brother who was absent last time.
Stop it! Let go of me! We're patriots fighting every day to kick those damn foreigners out of our country. You owe us a little booze. Or maybe even, a little company.
Across the street, a clump of perhaps 3 or 4 men were harassing a young girl.
Okita! Heisuke!
I see them. Stay here.
But it appeared that Okita got to them first.
Well, well. Guess patriots aren't what they used to be with men like you throwing the title around.
The usual crowd shuffled away from Okita and the men as quickly as they could. No one wanted to be near the sight of unsheathed blades. The Ronin's eyes found Okita's jacket and the men stiffened.
You're one of those Shinsengumi fellas, ain't ya?
Ah, you must be the brains. So tell me, Chief, what's it gonna be?
His lips curled into a predatory smile as his hand gripped his sword. There was no mirth in that rictus grin, and the Ronin's faces grew much paler. Their moods were not totally deflated yet, as their ringleader made one more attempt.
God damn it. Get out of here, you brown-nosing son of a bitch! Shut up! If you really want to live, maybe you should follow your own advice.
The sight of 2 Shinsengumi blue jackets standing shoulder to shoulder was enough to deter the men.
Screw you guys!
The last of the color drained from their faces and they turned tail and ran.
If they're gonna just run away at the sight of us, then they never should have picked a fight with us in the first place.
You aren't going to go after them? Arrest them? And charge them with which crime exactly? Didn't figure you for the Iron Fist sort.
I didn't really mean it like that. Thank you for saving me. My name is Kaoru Nagamo.
I watched as the girl gave Okita a quick bow. She was so refined, so ladylike. Even dressed like a girl, I doubted I could ever be as elegant as her. Hold up. I'd only just begun to feel sorry for myself when suddenly I felt a hand on my arm. Whoa, Okita? Calm down, kid. Come here and stand next to her. He shoved me next to the girl we just rescued, then stepped back to stroke his chin thoughtfully. Okita? I glanced nervously toward the girl and attempted to smile kindly under the circumstances. The smile she gave me in return was beautiful, but there was something about it that seemed odd. She seems familiar. Just as I thought. They look just like each other. We look like... That's when I finally realized. She was identical to whom I saw in the mirror.
Really? I don't think they look alike at all.
No. They're practically identical. Dress the kid up like a girl and you wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
Okita... she seems troubled.
Oh, I had to say something, but what? Perhaps she saw through my confusion, or perhaps it was something else.
I wish to thank you properly, but I'm afraid you've caught me in the middle of an important errand which I must attend to. Please, forgive my rudeness. I hope I will be able to repay you soon, Okita the Shinsengumi.
Nah. With that, the girl, who called herself Kaoru, disappeared into the crowds of Kyoto, although the uneasiness created by her presence remained.
Hey! Looks like she's got the hots for you, Soji.
Ha! Oh, Heisuke. Is that really what you think? You've got a long way to go before you're at Sano's level.
What? What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Their back and forth continued, but my mind was elsewhere. Last night's rain left a number of puddles on the road, and when I looked into them, I saw a strange girl who looked just like me. Kaoru, huh? Wind caught the surface of the puddle, sending a flurry of ripples across it.
Come on! Let's get moving!
Alright, I'm coming! I turned and ran toward Heisuke and Okita, already on their way back to headquarters. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu, as advertised. The whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly throughout the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions.
By now, I imagine you have all heard that Iemochi Takagawa, the 14th shogun of the Takagawa shogunate, will be visiting our city of Kyoto.
Ah! I was trying so hard to make it through that without sneezing. Oh, I think I made it. Hold on a second. Oh. Alright. Anyway, yes, Kondo?
The Shinsengumi have been asked to guard him as he passes through the city on his way to Nijo Castle. What? The Shinsengumi guards the shogun? Wow, that's one big promotion.
Huh. Too hard for them to ignore us after Ikeda and Hamaguri, huh? Our work's finally paying off. Guess you could say the fate of the country will be resting on our swords, huh?
That's exactly it. You guys better be ready for it. Guarding the shogun?
That is one big role. Indeed. If only Sanon was alive, he would have been so happy. How truly dreadful to have lost such an ally.
Ito wiped crocodile tears away from his eyes with a silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sanon died. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men of the Shinsengumi knew the truth.
Aw, Ito. I think performing the job given to us by the Shogun is what Sanon would have wanted.
Yes, I understand. This is an excellent opportunity for us to thrust our name into the forefront of the masses. Things are going to get pretty hectic soon.
We ought to get our assignments hashed out. To begin, I'd like Toshi, Soji, and myself to...
Sorry, Kondo, but you think maybe Soji can sit this one out.
Why's that?
Supposedly, his cold hasn't recovered. I've repeatedly told him to take care of himself.
What? Soji, is this true? Are you alright?
The demon's just being a mother hen, sir. I think I'm fine. Don't give me that crap. You just about coughed up a lung earlier. Is that your excuse to sell me some meds? No matter what, I won't buy a sheet of medicinal powder. That's not what I'm trying to do. Just shut up and follow my orders. I gave Okita some pretty strong medicine not too long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here. Then suddenly someone raised his hand.
What's the matter, Heisuke? Something on your mind?
Kondo? I'm not feeling so great either.
You too, Heisuke? You better take care of yourself. This is our time to shine. I was hoping to have all of us there to greet the Shogun.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, your health comes first. Always. I'm sure you'll have another chance. I just have to make sure you get to do something spectacular.
Kondo and Hijikata continued to discuss their formation, but suddenly Hijikata turned to me.
Alright, what are you going to do?
What?
Don't give me that. I'm asking if you're coming with us or not.
I can go too?
Of course! We certainly won't mind. After all, you're practically one of us. If you want, I'd love to have you come.
Could I? Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed. Why don't you go? It doesn't seem too dangerous either.
Yeah, the Choshu domain can't come in or out of Kyoto, so I'm sure there will be no fights.
Ha ha ha. What should I do? I'm just a little concerned about a person like me who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads of my father turning up on rounds. I'll go.
Alright then. I figured we'd put you in charge of running errands as a messenger. I'm using the hell out of you, so brace yourself.
Oh, Toshi. In the early days of the Tokugawa shogunate, Nijo Castle was a place for the shogun to stay on his way to the capital. It's been a while since a shogun actually stayed in it, though. We'd met the shogun on the road and begun our escort about 30 minutes earlier, and arrived at the castle relatively recently. By now, I imagined, Kondo, Nagakura, Inoue, and the men were greeting the officials and other important people in the shogun's retinue. Well, I've got a job to do too. It was my job to tell soldiers when to change shifts and to carry messages back and forth. A glorified errand girl, in other words. I don't see myself as being useless, though. I think. I've come with a message.
What? You're the messenger? This isn't the playground, you know.
Well, I'm not here to play.
Huh. Is that so? Then what could someone like you, who can't even use a sword, do for anyone?
I've come here to do what I can do. Would you mind if we stopped playing games?
Speak.
The chief is currently going around paying his respects to the people in the castle. Everyone else continue with the guard.
Message received.
Huh? That's it? It's that simple?
What's up with your dumb face? Surprised I listened to your message.
Oh, well, no,
A job is a job. I don't plan on making it personal. Alright, you've delivered your message. Get out of here.
Okay. Miki and I never really got on the best of terms, but maybe he's a responsible person. After he shooed me away, I continued attending to my duties as a messenger. In the surroundings of Nijo Castle, I can see the warriors wearing a white uniform which was different from the afternoon uniform. They don't seem too nervous, but I guess it makes sense. Some of the imperial nationalist extremists were driven out of Kyoto and many warriors fled. There's no way anything would happen. A sudden chill ran down the length of my spine. I froze. I knew the feeling. A length of cold steel seeking entry into your flesh, eyes shining with a lust for blood and violence. Since I'd been living with the Shinsengumi, I felt it more than once. Bloodlust. My eyes were drawn to the roof where no one would think to look. A large wall cast a shadow, shielding a section of the roof from the moonlight. There they stood. Here we go again. They make quite the impressive entrance. You!
So, you've noticed us. Not too slow, then.
They looked very distinctive, unlike any soldiers I'd seen before, but 3 sets of piercing eyes scattered my thoughts, making it hard to think. I had recognized them, now I had to put names to faces. Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, Kyo Shiranui. They were connected to both the Satsuma and the Choshu, and they'd made an effort to impede the Shinsengumi at Ikeda and again at Hamaguri. Why are you here?
You mean, how did we get here, right? Well, the answer is simple. Man-made obstacles like these are shit to a demon.
We are here for a specific purpose. That purpose is you, Chizuru Yukimura. We are here for you.
What? My heart was pounding so hard it could burst. Why do these men know my name? I don't understand. A demon? What do you mean? And what are you here for? No, you must be joking!
How can you ask what a demon is? Perhaps you're the one joking here.
He stepped forward, cloaked in shadows. When Amagiri spoke, it was calm and peaceful, as if he were responding, or as if he were reasoning with a frightened child.
Do your injuries heal quickly?
I held my breath.
Do you heal from injuries faster than any human could?
How does he know my secret? I've never revealed it to anyone before. Well, Words struggled to come to mind, and just as I was about to deny their accusations...
What the hell? Maybe it'll be quicker if we just give her a demonstration.
Shiranui's gun glistened eerily.
Shiranui, do you really intend on injuring such a rare female demon?
Hey, don't tell me what to do. The kid's being stubborn, so what can I do?
After Kazuma glared at Shiranui, his eyes drifted towards the Kodachi on my hip again.
You don't need words. Her family name is a demon's, and she carries the demon of the East Kodachi. This is enough proof.
My family name? What was wrong with Yukimura? I didn't understand what he was saying, and the cold sweat started inching down my spine.
Then again, It isn't as though we need your permission to kidnap you. Female demons are rare. Now, come with me.
His hand stretched out from the darkness, pale and grasping like the tentacle of some hideous subterranean monster. Then a blade flickered through the night. All right.
Whoa there, pal. Trying to pick up chicks in the back alley. That's not creepy at all.
You again. The culture and the nose of a dog, I see.
One could say the same of you.
Harada! Sayato! My legs almost collapsed, as if the now shattered tension was the only thing keeping me standing. I teetered backwards, my balance momentarily lost. A strong, sinewy hand caught me and pulled me back, its grip hard as steel.
Stay back.
Hijikata. One hand guided me around behind him, even as the other drew his sword.
I figured you were here for the Shogun's head. What do you want from a kid?
I've little interest in you or the Shogun right now. The matter at hand concerns only us demons.
Demons.
His eyes narrowed. Hijikata seemed perplexed by Kazuma's statement, as if contemplating the possibility of its truth.
Huh. Haven't seen these punks since Hamaguri.
I guess we're fated, huh? Doesn't make me particularly happy.
True, though I feel little at this reunion.
So, you are going to be in our way. Then...
What happened to working together? The tension was so thick in the air that I could scarcely breathe. They were a powder keg, ready to explode. Even the slightest movement could set them off. It wasn't like I could do much, but I still wanted to help them, so I grabbed my sword.
Don't worry about the commander and the captains.
Yamazaki? When did you...
I've been ordered to return you to headquarters.
Then... you're telling me to run away?
Exactly. Even if you were here, there would be nothing you could do.
I mean, he may be right, but... I... need to stay. I'm going to stay here.
Yukimura, you don't understand. What do you hope to accomplish by remaining here?
I know that staying here might not be the smartest idea, but... they called me a demon and told me to come with them. I still didn't know what they meant. I needed to know the truth.
You have a reason to stay then, and a conviction. I can admire that. Unfortunately, I have my orders. Just as you must remain true to what you believe is right, so must I.
What? Yamazaki reached for my arm, ready to take me with him by force, but... the gun Shiranui held was pointed towards Yamazaki.
Hold on there, buddy. The princess says she wants to stay, so she stays. You gotta learn when to let a girl go.
Gah!
With his spear, Harada tried to pierce Shiranui in the heart, but... Shiranui easily dodged his strike.
There are times when quick decisions are important, but Shiranui's short temper can be problematic.
Quite, but you seem uninterested in stopping him.
Saito and Amagiri maneuvered nearly into striking distance of one another. Saito drew his sword and attempted to strike at Amagiri.
Not so easy.
Amagiri saw through his movements instantly and dodged the incoming blade.
Damn it, who the hell are these guys?
Hijikata screamed, his voice filled with frustration. Save, I guess. I know the first one doesn't lead me to Saito. Would Saito think it was smart of me to call for backup? I don't know. I'm gonna have to try this. I'll see if his face shows up. I wasn't helping at all. I was utterly useless in a fight, and I knew it. What could I do then? There was only one thing. Yamazaki! We should go find Kondo! Just when I screamed that. Ah, okay. We're good.
We cannot allow any further outside interference.
Gah! Amagiri stared at me. Then suddenly...
Halt. I'm your opponent now.
Sayato's hand clasped the hilt of his sword as he walked slowly before Amagiri.
Stay back, Yukimura. You are their objective. Do not make any sudden movements.
Yeah, I mean, trust Sayato, always. Got it. I took a few steps back. Thanks for trusting me.
That's good. Leave the rest to me. Might we convince you to simply retreat? As at Hamaguri, I have no reason to fight you. Unfortunately, I have a reason to fight you.
His voice was low and controlled, but I thought I sensed a current of tension beneath it. Sayato then moved slowly to interdict Amagiri's approach. Was he protecting me?
You intend to stand in my way, then. Very well.
Are you like Morpheus? Because if so, that's amazing. The giant man flexed his hand, settling into a crouched stance. Sayato's hand tightened on his sword. For several long moments, neither of them moved. The air was thick with barely contained intensity, and the ground could tear asunder, swallowing us. Seconds felt like hours as the two opponents regarded one another. There they go. Wow. Finally, you give me a new CG. Thank you. A shadow drifted across the moon, and the street briefly darkened. There was a blur of movement. When light returned, Sayato and Amagiri stood some distance apart, backs to one another as if they met for a single blow and continued forward. I had no idea what had just happened. Their moves were just too fast to keep up with. A breath of wind stirred my hair.
I had intended to end this with one strike. As had I.
These guys are too intense for each other. Neither man looked the least bit surprised or concerned that his intended death blow was avoided. Sayato's eyes narrowed to piercing blue slits as he turned to face his opponent. Amagiri turned as well, matching Sayato's intensity. They stood like that for a moment until Amagiri's glare softened. It's like a sumo match. He didn't leave his fighting stance, but his arms dropped to his sides. I stood as still as I could. Meanwhile, Kazuma and Hijikata have been, like, intensely fighting for the last 20 minutes. Both men stepped back, their fight clearly finished.
Further fighting serves no purpose. We will do nothing more than attract unwanted attention.
What, you talking to me? Come on, I know when to leave a party. The one that doesn't know when to stop is...
Shiranui looked towards Kazuma as he spoke.
Yes, our suspicions have been confirmed. We've no need to stay. This time we only came to verify the truths. Do you really believe we'll simply allow you to walk away? Then call your men. You three may survive, but how many of your soldiers will be slaughtered before we escape? Would you spend their lives so easily?
Kazuma and his companions were no doubt powerful. His words held arrogance. We knew he spoke truth. They left silently, fading into the darkness, but as he did, Kazuma spoke to me one last time, his red eyes piercing me as they glared.
I will return for you. Soon.
He was far out of arm's reach, but his words nearly brushed against my cheek, cold and threatening. A shiver ran up my spine. I crumbled to the floor.
Whoa! Are you alright, Chizuru?
I'm fine.
You really suck at lying, you know that? You look really pale. Sit there and rest for a while. If you can't walk, I'll carry you.
Thank you. For a while, Hijikata stared deeply and harshly towards the darkness.
Kid, you got any idea why they were after you?
I hesitated. They had said I was one of them. Cosma had invited me to go with him. Had he been telling the truth? I didn't know. I'm not sure. There was really nothing more I could say. Word of this incident spread the ranks of the Shinsengumi quickly in another form.
Hey, I heard there was an intruder. So what in the hell were the captains doing? An intruder? I haven't heard anything. Are you sure that information is true? So what, you're saying I'm lying? I didn't say you were lying, but maybe you misunderstood something. If it really happened, I would be the first to know. Since I wasn't in the know, then it must be fake information. Huh, is that so? But if it was true, you're going to pay for it.
Supposedly, they stormed to Hijikata's room, but he told them the incident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people that were notified of Cosma's infiltration were only a handful of the captains. So, in the eyes of the public, the infiltration of Nijo Castle didn't happen.